Oh, hello, Paul.
Hello, Jeremy.
So good to see you. Great reconnecting. Loved hearing just about your personal and professional accomplishments over the past few years since it had been a while. So happy to have you here. I have the pleasure of knowing who you are. Why don't you tell our OhHello audience who I'm speaking with right now and who they're listening to?
Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Kontonis. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Revry, which is an LGBTQ first streaming TV company.
Love it. Love it. Paul, you have a fantastic experience of being a marketing leader in many different realms. Would love to hear a little bit more about just your experiences. You know, what defines you? What has made you who you are today as a father, as a professional who has been a chief marketing officer at multiple places, who has ran huge teams, small teams, big companies, startups. What defines you? What makes you who you are today?
For me, one of the things that absolutely drives me is moments of change. I love moments of change, opportunities to evolve a business idea, to launch a business idea, to grow a business. Those are the moments that I'm attracted to like a fly to honey. The the already built, sitting there, rinse and repeat type businesses, yeah, I don't get it. But the chance to drive something new into a market, ooh, that's exciting.
That is exciting. That is exciting. Not nearly as exciting as the fig tree in your backyard in Queens, but quite exciting. I hear you on that. It's nice to be able to invent and make change for sure. How would you characterize just the overall skill set that you're going to be able to share with the OhHello community?
From a, I don't think always think of it as a straight up skill set. It's more a mentality of destination planning. It's starting with where do we need to end up? Okay, how do we get there? It's one of the reasons why I think the CMO role has been so challenged in the last 15 years. I would say it has the shortest tenure in the C-suite, primarily because it lost touch with the destination. It lost touch with the destination being a monetary goal, sales. And what I like to do in every situation I'm in is work backwards from where do we need to be in sales? Okay, well, how many customers is that? Or how many products do we have to sell? Oh, new or trial customers, right? Repeat or trial. Okay, what does that bring us back to? Locations, work backwards, work backwards. Then you can start to build your marketing plan because you know where you're going to end up. And so, what I look to do for every business I'm involved in, whether helping coming into Digiday as CMO or launching my own web video studio or CMO of WHOSAY and then became CMO of Viacom Ad Solutions, it was always about what's the destination, how are we going to get there, and primarily how is marketing going to get us there.
I love that. I love that it's the journey, and that's what you and I were talking about in our prep call and our catch up was just how so many people overlook the journey of getting to the it's not necessarily the getting to that end result. It's well, what did you do to accomplish it? How did you change? What were the effects? And we were talking about from not to get too personal, but just someone that you know within your network who is a peer of yours, but in a different industry, who had hit a point where they had spent 30 years professionally unhappy. And when you are able to spend time and have creating that journey and asking those questions and having those goals, it makes it a lot more fun. And so I would think by you going to a lot of these different companies, wearing the chief marketing officer cape and coming in to uh, call it cape and an apron to be the chef and to have it ultimately get to that end result of that, great fig pie, whatever it might be. I like that. Very few other people have gone down that route. What excites you about mentorship? When you think about just being a mentor to so many people within marketing, within entertainment, within content, what gets you excited about it?
So anytime I get to work or be introduced to a new company with regards to marketing, it always is a new set of ingredients. If you want to go back to that apron, it's a new set of inputs, right? Having been in education and publishing and tech and now in media, right? TV, being a TV company, the underlying principles, what I call the transferable skills, are always the same. The process is the same. The machine that underlies the work is exactly the same, but the inputs and the ingredients change. And so anytime I'm exposed to hearing about a new business, getting to understand a new business, I'm like, okay, that's an important detail. That's an important detail. And then building that picture in my mind is awesome. I love it because then I start seeing new, cool, fun, exciting things. So there is that little bit of a rush with getting all the new ingredients, like being at the Iron Chef and opening up what your ingredients are and go, ooh, this is what we have to work with. What are we going to make? That's fun.
I love the Iron Chef analogy. When looking back, becoming an Iron Chef, what would you tell your younger self? What would you tell those watching that are midway through their career, whether they're 25, 35, 45, however old they are, it doesn't matter. But just things that just advice or recommendations, if you could look back and say, damn it, Paul, you coulda, shoulda done this. Or to those just, hey, here are things I didn't think about that could be helpful nowadays.
So when I was younger, 20, I guess 26, I got to an agency called Besson Tully and Lee and helped turn them into BTL Design was their rebrand. And I pushed hard for me to be the CMO. I was 26. I had no right whatsoever to be pushing for that role. Yet I pushed for it to get it because I was in a rush to stop doing what most people would call the dirty work, the grunt work. I was in a rush to just lead. I wanted to be the guy in charge, the front of the boat. We're going there. We're going to go there. I wanted to be there, mostly because I never liked everyone else's leadership. So I always just wanted to be the leader. But the importance in every step of that journey for me of actually doing the work has enabled me to come into different positions and not be afraid of doing the work. And my ability to get my hands dirty
Yeah.
at the ground level and fight that ground war alongside my marketers enables me then to have a better understanding of what are the challenges, the opportunities, the threats, our weaknesses, our strengths. It gives me a much better sense of that and a sense of how to help my teams do even better. Because, like a conductor, I've learned every instrument in the orchestra. I'm not great at them all. I stink at most of them, but I know what it takes to get it done. And I would say along the way, do not rush to get away from doing the groundwork. Do it, learn it, understand it before you move on.
Do it, learn it, understand it before you move on. Going back to the Iron Chef analogy that we were using, go and plant the seeds, grow the seeds, pull them out of the garden, go to the grocery shop, go to the butcher, learn where you're sourcing all of
Yeah.
the ingredients from, learn how to knife preparation, water temperature, everything that comes with just don't be too good for any kind of role. I love that. I really appreciate that. Who are some of the top mentors that have had a profound impact uh, on you? Who's made an impact?
Yeah. So, probably my first most impactful mentor was one of the founders of that agency, Besson Tully and Lee, David Lee. He's since passed on. And he had two partners, Mal Besson and Joe Tully, and all three of them were just so different from each other. Yet David was able to sit in the middle and get the most out of both of his partners. And he was always kind of somebody who was counseling me to take a breather, relax, soak it in. Even though I did it, I fought.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
I
did
didn't
you
want it.
though?
No, no, I didn't want to. But in hindsight, I look at it and go, that was the first one. And then more recently was I coach soccer as well as run a soccer club, and the prior club I got to be at, Blaauwyscotchy, had a director, a technical director there by the name of Paul McGlynn. His son now plays Philadelphia Union, Jack McGlynn. He's fantastic. And Paul was such an incredible mentor on how to coach, how to break down the game into practices, and how to make those practices relate to the players to then relate to the game. And I've used soccer as a guide for how I build my marketing teams. I've used it for how I approach campaigns, approach a bigger strategy. I actually use a lot from what I learned on the soccer field to how I approach business. So, two different styles.
Right.
One who I got along great with, David, and one who gave me shit all the time, Paul, and was always on my case and never liked anything I did, but it pushed me to learn. And those two have been my hallmark mentors.
Thank you for sharing that. Would love to hear about a cause that's near and dear to you. As you know, as a hello, as a mentor on the platform, you're going to be able to donate some of your proceeds to just about 50 different charities. What's a cause that's near and dear to you?
Well, at Revry, being an LGBTQ first network, we are really focused on the importance of representation in media and what does it mean to people to see themselves, to see people like them projected and portrayed in an authentic and inspiring way in a lot of cases.
Mhm.
And so what I find I'm inject purpose into our marketing as defined as inspiring exploration of these authentic voices from the LGBTQ community for the social and economic benefit of the community. And so I'm doing it by being hands on, and anytime we can get involved in an organization and support them. And most recently, I've been working with a soccer organization out of New York called New York Ramblers, which is it's a nonprofit. It's the oldest uh, gay men's soccer league
Cool.
that exists. It's out of New York, and that's who we've been supporting. We sponsored jerseys and
Oh, it's
did the whole
awesome.
thing, and giving them as much support as we possibly can.
I love that. That's great. That's great. Any other parting words of wisdom or advice that you want to give to the OhHello community?
Innovation and change are your friends. Uh, don't be afraid of them. Get into every platform, get your hands into everything, see what it's all about, but at the same time understand most of it can be emperor's new clothes or something not much different than you already have. It's just the flavor, the current flavor. The principles remain the same, the platform may change, the look and feel may change, but the underlying strategy does not. So do not, jump into everything new, go for it, have fun with it, but don't forget your core marketing principles.
Amazing. Paul, thank you very much for coming on the OhHello pod. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you for
Yeah.
viewing. Take care, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. See ya.
How was that good?